Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Fantastic Four, number 265, continuing my The Path to Secret Wars series. This is the last issue of the Fantastic Four. Well, actually, technically not. This is technically a aftermath issue because in the Thing number 10, the Fantastic Four, all of them except Sue, get sucked into Secret Wars. What this issue is more of a sort of background aftermath story of Secret Wars. So this is written by, actually pretty much everything is done by John Byrne, except for the lettering and the colors. So really interesting. It's a double story set, kind of like an old DC comic. The house that Reed built, and you get this hilarious first-person perspective storytelling of this character, Trapster, as he attempts to break into the Baxter building and get revenge on Richard Reed. And I guess he's a part of this team. The Fearsome Four, right? And he's breaking into the Baxter building. Really freaking hilarious. By the way, this is really cool. I love what John Byrne did this, and I think it's like a true first-person perspective drawing, right, of this story, and it's actually pretty cool. I kind of like it. And then he uses all the dead space that. So if you draw something in first-person perspective, right, panel to panel to panel, not particularly interesting. It's kind of like watching like screenshots of a video game, right? But what John Byrne does here is he uses all of the dead space to put in narration boxes. Again, the brilliance of the era, right, of the storytelling of the era. So, going eventually, all of the robots and the active security computer at the Baxter building just basically defeats him, and then he breaks his way back to the front entrance to escape, and then he gets his ass kicked by the receptionist, who's actually a robot. Pretty good. And then you get the second side of the issue. This is Sue, Invisible Woman. She is. She right now is kind of living in the Avengers mansion after the events of what happened in the Thing number 10, in which the Fantastic Four gets sucked into Secret Wars and everyone's pretty much disappeared. So there's also a lot of the Avengers too that are also trying to figure out. She has like a quick little conversation with Jarvis, before he became an artificial intelligence. Back when Jarvis was basically a ripoff of Alfred. And here there's more talk. Man, yeah, she looks a hell of a lot better being drawn by John Byrne than Ron Wilson. I'm just gotta say, man, John Byrne's the master. Always loved his quick and he had a quick style, but he still managed to make people look really, really good. So they see a huge flash, and Sue takes Alicia and whatchamacallit. This is basically the side telling of the events. I forgot about this because it happens twice. This is a retelling of the events of the Avengers. Looks like John Byrne was nice enough to tie in with the Avengers. This is after the Avengers get sucked in, and Sue shows up, and she has a conversation with Scarlet Witch, Mockingbird, and Vision, discussing what happened. Then it flashes back to her a week later, having waited and wondering whether she'll ever see her husband or her brother again. And she goes out to Central Park to kind of see what's going on, and another great flash occurs. She runs out, uses her powers for the first time in a while. There goes Iron Man. She notices there's Spider-Man and the Hulk, and apparently the X-Men, though that kind of breaks continuity. If you think about the X-Men issue that came after Secret Wars. So apparently John Byrne and Chris Claremont weren't communicating there. But she goes and she sees a final flash, and she sees the silhouette of the Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, her husband, and last but not least, this very tall woman. Boom, it's She-Hulk. This is the introduction of She-Hulk as a member of the Fantastic Four. And it's pretty cool, man. She kind of fits in. She's the tall, beautiful, brash woman, right? Not really a Hulk, but definitely a more straightforward character that kind of complements the other members. But it's pretty great, man. They go off. They have a great moment reuniting. And just when... so, spoiler alert, Johnny here is about to reveal something with what happened to Ben Grimm in Secret Wars. And just when he's about to reveal it, Sue has a big sort of radiation attack, and it turns out she's about ready to give birth. Reed's kind of worried because she's blasting radiation everywhere, but She-Hulk kind of realizes that she can handle that as being She-Hulk. So she picks up Sue and they run to the hospital, and you're kind of left on a bit of a cliffhanger. So it's kind of great. You get 2 issues, but a lot happens. So even though they're not complete stories, it kind of works with the way John Byrne is doing it. And of course, you get, this freaking, amazing page right here. This thing is fantastic. So yeah, man. Short issue, but really good. Kind of goes over, like John Byrne, instead of trying to work around Secret Wars, he kind of works through Secret Wars. He doesn't ignore it like Walter Simonson, but what he does is kind of like, okay, I'm not going to, write multiple issues, waiting for this stuff. I know the results, so I'm just going to say, this happened in Secret Wars, and now they're back, and She-Hulk's part of the Fantastic Four. Cool, let's go. Yeah, sometimes I wonder about the relationship between all of these writers and Jim Shooter. The last issue, which you can probably guess what the last issue that I'm going to do for this Path to Secret Wars series goes over, another writer didn't necessarily get along with Jim Shooter all the time, but he handles it in a pretty interesting way in Uncanny X-Men. Anyhow, how did I do? Let's see. Pretty damn good. Man. Except for Reed and, Johnny's torso. This is a really hilarious drawing for several reasons. I have always struggled to draw She-Hulk. For some reason, I just could never freaking get this character right, and I just always kept screwing up drawing her. And I think my best bet is always to draw John Byrne She-Hulk, because he just does a really good job of drawing her. But ironically enough, I spent so much time on drawing She-Hulk and making sure that I get every single detail right, that of course I would screw up freaking Reed's face, and I'd screw up Johnny's torso. So yeah, Johnny's torso is jacked up. Either his legs are jacked up or his torso is jacked up, but I'm pretty certain it's his torso. This needs to get shortened up for it to make sense. And, Reed's face is completely incorrect. It's just kind of expressionless. I didn't put enough detail into that face, but, it is what it is. At least I finally got She-Hulk right. So this is the original panel right here. Also, yeah, I need to get a higher detail pen to get her mouth right. Again, what's really hard about these full page spread right here is that technically John Byrne drew this on a 11 by 17 piece of paper. This is not 11 by 17. This is 9 by 12. So no matter what, even if I go 1-to-1, I don't have the same amount of detail that he has in his original 11 by 17 drawing. So, you're kind of limited here, but at least I redeemed myself on one character. I gotta fix this. By the way, the Human Torch is just what I noticed is he's just a collection of speed lines. It's just hatching up and down. I guess that was kind of like the technique of the day. I don't know if there was a better way of doing it. Anyhow, that's the review. Real quick and short. Artwork took forever, but at least I got She-Hulk right. Yes. Let me know if you liked it. If you did like the video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. If you got any comments on Fantastic Four 265 or this piece of artwork or the artwork in here or John Byrne, leave them down below, and I will see you next time.